Hi, I thought I would quickly share something about Claude, and they gave open API, and there was an interesting way of how we could actually go ahead and check it. So let's just check something. So basically, how do we normally do? We usually do something like give me a summary of the uh, email to be sent, okay, and what we give it, right? So the moment you throw this, it's going to prompt me telling, hey, I don't have an email, so tell it to me. And I say something like, let's say I just simulate an email. Hi. So now let's say I'm just giving this to as the email. Okay. So it actually gives me something, and then it says, okay, Raj is requesting to meet up, and it's actually giving me a summary, right? Now, this is one way of using it. But what if I would want to automate it, right? It's so boring. You can't always have a chat. So one good thing that happened is Cloud and Anthropic have given an API. And interestingly, what I could actually go ahead and do is also there is an extension for Cloud, which I have installed. You can actually go ahead and check it. So basically for Google Sheets, I can have a Cloud implemented. Okay. And I have also set up the keys for it. So if you go to the settings, there's a key you have to set up, which I've already done. So I'm just skipping through that part over here. And the other thing which I've done is I've created some prompts here, very simple ones. So if you look at it, it's pretty simple. So I have a type and I have a prompt, and for each of the different types to get the requester, I have a prompt which says identify the sender. Then I have something to do the key points about the email. I want it as bullet points in less than 10 words, action items, and I also want to get stakeholder. So it helps me do this. So this is something that I have done. And then I have another place where there are the different models of Anthropic which exists. And I just put it here and I select a single model by which I can keep testing with different modules to see how my solution works. Just for the quick thing, I've just made a simple formula. Basically, this picks up the formula which I've already selected and the prompt and connect it with an email. Now, let me just go ahead and take this first formula. And my email is in the cell A2, and I'm going to go and paste it over here. Now, obviously, it has found out who the sender of the email is. So now let me go and take the next formula. I want to get the key points. So I had already shown what the prompt was. This is getting the key points. Okay, it's got the key points. That's pretty good. Now I'll go and pick up what are the key points are obviously different from action items. I would like to get the action items. So I'm going to go and paste that formula there. As soon as I paste it, it goes to the backend, picks the data and come. Let it do its job. Okay, it did it. And I will also get who are the current stakeholders. Okay, so let's see how that goes. As you can see, it has identified the action items. Okay, and in case it's not able to identify the stakeholders, I've just given it a prompt to say, not able to identify. Okay, so that's, if you see it here, I have actually given that if none is there, it's not able to form. We can always tweak it. Now, once I have done this, uh, let me close the sidebar here so that you get a better view. Now it's fairly simple. I have another set of 4-5 mails here. Just drag this whole thing and I'm going to just drag it over all the emails. Now, as I'm sitting and doing, Cloud is there doing its job, trying to get all the, taking each mail and parsing it and getting it. So it's actually found out what the requester is. Okay, now you find that it gives an interesting thing called something called deferred. That is just a way of Cloud to throttle our, basically it wants to control the amount of calls that we are making, so don't worry about that. So I just said, recalculate the deferred cells. It's doing it again. All the ones which is deferred, it's trying to get it back. You can also see that there is a pending calls here. Okay, and there is a current API which is 4, which is again a restriction for the current access. So these are the ways in which we can throttle or has done the job for all the others except there's one. So for this mail, it actually found out that, oh, I got a discount and these are the key points. And then for the other one said, oh, I haven't paid, I have to pay some money. And then it actually picks up what are the links that I need to click. That also it does it, and it says, do this out. And for the last one, it's actually interesting. It says, oh, okay, so there was a LLM based retainer and somebody wants a retainer contract. And the items, it says discuss the items to be covered in the retainer. And it also says BBB to send the proposal for the contract. Okay, and it actually identified the stakeholders as XXX and BBB for this. So Imagine you connect this to an email, and all you have to do is look at things like this, and you can go and build something on top of that. If you find that the stakeholder is your name, you can add it to an action list. So you can have a personal assistant absolutely free. It took me hardly a couple of minutes to do this. This is just to give an idea of how Gen AI, you can actually use it in your daily life with hardly any cost in, and time and effort involved.